Oh great, a new Jujutsu chapter is out. Now last time, Gojo slapped Sukuna around like he was a baby. But the fight's been so back and forth, let's see if Sukuna can figure out a comeback. Oh, some Gojo backstory? Interesting time for this. Wait, what? Dying alone? A dream? What is this? The king of Karsus wasn't given it all he had.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Now this would have been my reaction in a different universe where I hadn't already been spoiled on 73 different occasions. But anyway, let's talk about the shit stain of a chapter. So Gojo is greeted by Geto in his imagination or an actual afterlife? We'll get to that. At this point, let's assume it's his imagination, because that makes a lot more sense than Gege confirming an actual afterlife, because the mechanics of that would be beyond insane. But anyway, Gojo quickly figures out he's dead and is, I'm not sure. Maybe he's trying to act cool in front of his maybe real, maybe fake friend Geto, but Gojo just seems like me when I go to get some ice cream out of my freezer. But there's no ice cream in the freezer. In other words, mildly annoyed. I've always told my students, when you die alone, so please tell me this is just some ridiculous dream. Geto replies, does it matter? And Gojo replies, of course it does. And I still haven't told him about his dad, but I guess I asked Shoko to handle that. Okay, assumingly, this is referring to Gojo telling Megami that he killed Toji. Gojo, I really think this should be a bit lower on your list of priorities. Actually, compared to your priorities, this should be on a completely different list of things that matter for jack shit. The kid you want to tell this to is trapped in the strongest sorcerer to ever exist, who just magically one-shot you. The same kid is deeper in depression than anyone I have ever seen. The person he cared about more than anyone in the world is dead. Not only dead, but killed by his 10 shadows whilst he was stuck inside his own body. This same kid never even gave a single fuck about Toji before all this anyway. So why in the living fuck is he gonna give a single shit now? I think the thing you should really be thinking about is how Sukuna, the king of curses, is going to be unleashed on everyone you know and love. The same king of curses who just landed shot through the entire universe or some shit to slice you like a potato. We'll get to that. So Geto asks him, how is the king of curses? Gojo replies, insanely frickin' strong, and he wasn't even given all he had. Hey Gojo, did Sukuna's new move give you dementia? Don't you remember this? And this? And the very last chapter, when this, and especially this. Just why would Gojo think this, especially after the last chapter? I don't get it. Now, the next line in other translations was even dumber, but I'll take it at its best. Gojo says, it would have been damn close even if he didn't have Megami's 10 shadows. Please, Gojo, you literally beat him with 10 shadows before he pulled out some bullshit. Now, I agree it would have been close if Sukuna didn't have 10 shadows. And the different game plan of Sukuna might have actually gave him some other advantages. But just, why are you even talking about this? It just feels like you're sucking him off for no good reason. Geto says, I'm shocked anyone could have made you admit that. And Gojo now says, still, I kind of feel sorry for him. Then monologues about the isolation of being the strongest and ends with saying, Sukuna wasn't able to give me his all though. And I think that's a damn shame. Okay, what the fuck? Firstly, there's a stark fucking difference in being able to relate to someone than to feel sorry for them. Obviously, Gojo can relate to being the strongest and the loneliness that comes with it, but to feel sorry for the epitome of evil. I mean, I don't know if you guys realize this, but Sukuna ain't that great of a guy. Secondly, we don't know enough about Sukuna, and Gojo certainly doesn't know enough about Sukuna for Gojo to think any of this. Maybe Sukuna is just a powerful dude who likes to do evil shit, which it pretty much seems that's what he is. Gojo feeling sorry for him, then jerking him off, and saying it's a damn shame he wasn't able to make him give it his all, is insane. Geto says, well, consider me jealous, but it's good that you feel satisfied. Gojo replies, satisfied? Huh? I guess my only disappointment is that you aren't there to give me a slap on the back. That is your only disappointment, not losing to Sukuna. Okay, dude, whatever. Then Gojo says, but I guess I am glad I died facing a stronger opponent. It would have been embarrassing if I let some disease or old age get the best of me. Okay, who is this? Where is Gojo Satoru? Because this ain't him. This is a skin mask of an amazing character. Yeah, I always look at old people and just laugh at how embarrassing they are. Ha 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 ha. Hey, old fuck, I'm gonna die at half your age. You're such a loser. Man, it's like the SpongeBob wallet meme. Gojo, you're the strongest person on the good guys team, right? Yup. And that means if an evil guy beats you, the good guys who you are meant to love and care about are going to really struggle, right? And a lot of them, if not all of them, will die to this bad guy. Yup. So that's why you always want to beat the bad guy, not die to them, right? Makes sense to me. So you should want to die of natural causes, old age or illness, for example, right? No, I want to die to a strongman. Now Nanami and Highbrush are up. Nanami says, what are you, a samurai? Seriously, you should know it's poor taste to think like that in the present. Then again, that mindset of yours is probably why you outlived me. Wanting to die to a stronger sorcerer is what kept Gojo alive longer. Okay, I guess. Nanami continues. I remember once asking Geto why we can't just leave it all to you. After all, you never cared about keeping sorcery going or protecting people. You were just in it for self-satisfaction. And then Hybra and Geto agree with him. First, what Nanami just said is illogical. Why would you leave everything to Gojo? Because he was just in it for self-satisfaction. Wouldn't that be a reason not to leave everything to him? Secondly, let's assume that everyone in this afterlife thing is real. Would they all think this about Gojo? No way. Okay, first let's just state the obvious. Gojo Satoru cares about protecting people and can't just be in it for self-satisfaction. There are so many reasons for this, but the simplest one is if Gojo was just in it for self-satisfaction, then why would he bother having students in the first place? And just take this example. Considering Geto and Nanami both know he chose to have students, surely they can put 2 and 2 together and work out he can't just be a power junkie lunatic. So with all this, what is Gege trying to say about Gojo here? Gojo does seem visibly upset that his friends all think this about him, but he doesn't deny it. Surely Gege knows that they are chatting garbage, and I guess thinks Gojo would just accept the tarnishing of his character. But I wish he defended himself here and told them every reason why they're wrong. But I guess Gojo just lost all his backbone along with his legs. Or maybe, just maybe, all Gojo's ego and character was stored in his balls all along, and Sukuna separated them from his body. Nanami says it was a fitting way to go out, and Gojo replies, how do you feel about your own demise? And now it is confirmed that this isn't just Gojo's imagination, as Hybra says, I butted in back there, which obviously only Nanami would know about. So what in the fuck are the mechanics for this afterlife? Is everyone just fully conscious? Or is it like an essence of them, but not fully them, and they are somewhat real, but somewhat not? Please, Gege, give me some answers. I just don't know what to say about any character except Gojo, because I don't know if they are actually their character or not. If they are their character, then I think the last part really damages them, but we move past it. Nanami says, it seems curses can become fuel for life, the same way sorcery can. I honestly don't get what blood is shedding. Then he goes on the south and north spiel, and I don't really give a shit because I don't even know if he's real or not. Then Gojo says, hey principal, thought you said no Jujutsu sorcerer dies without regrets. He's either just talking about Nanami or what it feels like to me after this whole chapter and him smiling after. It feels like he's talking about himself as well, which would be so dumb. Gojo would have regrets. His first regret would be losing to Sukuna. Toji's there for some reason. Now I'm hoping this isn't a dream. I don't know what to make of this line, so let's just move past it. Plow through it. So, the man is truly dead, and he thinks he's Walter White. Now for Sukuna's explanation. Okay, where to begin? First, I want to take a little detour to chapter 234, when Maharaga did the thing. I believe this was insanely stupid and a complete asspull. But first, let's talk about the 2 other times we saw Maharaga in Jujutsu Kaisen. Back in Shibuya, Maharaga adapted to Sukuna's dismantle by learning to deflect it when Sukuna sends it. And apart from this, Maho was just a tank with a special sword. And now look at the Yorizo fight. Maho adapted to the perfect sphere and just sliced through it with his sword. Nothing else. And now the current fight. Up to this, Maho could cancel Gojo's infinity and could even allow Sukuna to hit through it. So up till now, Maharaga's only abilities was just cancelling out techniques and his sword. Compare that to this. Where the fuck did this slash come from? Maho now has a range attack, and not only that, but the god of all range attacks. If this isn't an asspull, then I don't know what is. Now, why else is this a problem? Well, firstly, Gojo doesn't act appropriately. He should be shaken in his boots. At any second, Maho can throw the shit at him, but he really doesn't seem very bothered. Secondly, it begs the question, why couldn't Maharaga just spam this move? You may say he could spam this move, but Sukuna just wanted to learn it before killing Gojo, because he's just that cool. He wasn't even trying this whole time. Well, he could have still chopped some more limbs off Gojo, wouldn't that also help him learn how this bullshit move works? And if Sukuna was really thinking like this, then what in the fuck is chapter 235? Sukuna facing the height of tension? Why do you just have a one-shot ability? Just tell Maho to use it, if you have to. Now, why is this important? This doesn't seem like any critique in 236. Just because Sukuna learns from Maho's asspull doesn't make Sukuna doing it an asspull, right? I think it would be one thing if Gege treated this ability like it's as powerful as it is, but he didn't. Gojo's lack of reaction and Sukuna's tension just make it seem like this Maho panel was a blunder on Gege's part. But to make it the finishing move just doesn't remotely work. Now let's talk about 235. Like I said, before any Hollow Purple, after Gojo Black Flash 10 Shadow Dude, Sukuna began shaking in his boots, facing the height of tension. Surely at this point, Sukuna should go all out if he wasn't already. Now, for the Hollow Purple, Sukuna is in distress after he realizes what is happening, and shouts for Maharaga to chase it, instead of just doing the slice attack again. Now, surely at this point, Sukuna hadn't learned Maho's ability, right? Or there would be nothing to worry about. So when does he learn it? Between Gojo completely obliterating him and 236? Now let's talk about the off-screen and the complete whiplash between chapters. This may just be the worst thing about this chapter. So Gojo is here looking at the injured Sukuna, right? So when does Sukuna learn the super duper move? Because he sure couldn't do it a few seconds ago. And does he simply just do it in a split second so Gojo can't react? Wait, let's go all the way back to the previous fucking chapter. Was this a spark? So Sukuna should show Gojo a spark of cast energy, right? Gojo is the 6 eyes, he ain't letting anything past him. Wouldn't Gojo be suspicious that Sukuna might be trying something? You know, something fucking insane, just like Maharaga did in 234? Gojo could first simply dodge. 2. Teleport. 3. Hit Sukuna with a blue or another purple before Sukuna does it. But I guess we have to assume Gojo was so confident that he simply wanted to tank another slash. Was there nothing special about how Sukuna used the shot? Like a different hand sign or amount of cast energy or something? Okay, let's say Gojo forgot about Mao's shot from 234, or just assume Sukuna wouldn't be able to pull off anything like that to get through infinity. Okay, so I know this sounds kind of shonen tropey, but wouldn't Gojo have noticed anything about Sukuna's character? Like if Sukuna smirked, turned to him, and then did that move? Would nothing indicate that Sukuna might try something and you should probably dodge? You know what would have been really helpful in letting us figure this shit out? Is showing the fucking move. About the actual explanation. We know Sukuna learned it from Maho, because Maho, for some reason, can adapt 2 different times to the same move and do a random big-ass slash. I mean, if its intended target wasn't just Gojo Satoru, but space, the entire world, existence itself, doesn't sound like the dumbest thing you've ever heard, then I don't want to know what is. Sukuna says, "You did well, Gojo Satoru. I won't forget you for as long as you live." Now Kashimo TPs into battle to hopefully get instantly one-shot, because that would be logical, right? But no, instead the good guys are somehow gonna not instantly die. Gojo's just that weak, I guess. Okay, last thing. Throughout the chapter, Gojo doesn't seem remotely worried about the good guys facing Sukuna. I've heard people comparing this to Shibuya, when Gojo gets sealed and says, "Looks like time doesn't pass here. Crap, I messed up. This will definitely cause trouble. Whatever, it'll be fine. I have faith in everyone." I have 2 things to say. First, let's talk about what the good guys were up against in Shibuya versus now. From Gojo's knowledge, they were up against Chozo, who seems about Yuji's level, Mahito, who is strong with a domain expansion, but Gojo knows that Nanami plus Yuji nearly killed him, Jogo, who is incredibly strong with a domain expansion, which is a big issue. The good guys were actually lucky Sukuna killed him. And Kenny, which from Gojo's POV, just has car spirit manipulation, maybe some other tricks up his sleeve, but he doesn't really know. Now this is a tough lineup, I will admit, but I don't think Gojo is delusional to think the good guys have a strong chance. And if worse comes to worse, Yuta will come back eventually and Hikari will join. I mean, Yuta could probably solo every disaster curse and get it. Compare this to now, Sukuna has a one-shot ability which Gojo doesn't know the limitations of. From Gojo's POV, and what it honestly looks like is a slash with whatever Witsome death Sukuna wants, which instantly destroys everything. Now Sukuna's cleave was already completely busted. Only Yuta and Hikari after domain could tank it, I reckon. But that's something at least. Now Yuta is getting one shot, which is a huge deal. Also, I really think moving at speed could count as cleave without domain expansion. I just think this because every time a character has been hit by cleave, they're standing still. And surely Sukuna can't just one-click at any time, surely. Now Gojo did make it so Sukuna can't use a domain expansion anymore. I don't know how long that's going to last though, but that's something. Also, Kenny and Urame could instantly show up and try to let Sukuna heal. Sukuna is the definition of overpowered, and Gojo really had to completely nerf him, or it's just over. Okay, now let's compare what Gojo said in Shibuya versus now. In Shibuya, in 24 words, Gojo shows he's annoyed he messed up, admits some bad consequences are coming, really meaning some people he cares about will die, but chooses to stay positive and believe in his students, because what other choice is there? Now look at chapter 236. He mentions Megami, but not really. Says he feels sorry for the mass murdering cannibal that is gonna fight everyone. Says he is glad he died to someone stronger. And says nothing else about his students, and ends up being happy. Yeah, these things are exactly the same, sure. Man, if I ever met Gege in real life, then I would say thank you for making the world a better place. No, I'm serious. He's made one of the most fun and interesting pieces of fiction I've ever seen, and I'm sure has made a lot of people's lives a little bit better from it. Then I would tell him he's a... and he should really... and then... Now for the secret after credits scene. While I was making this video, the next chapter came out, and just made this chapter even worse. I will say 2 things about the next chapter. Number 1, there was not a single reaction to Gojo dying. That's right, not from Yuji, or Yuta, or anyone. Number 2, Gojo achieved absolutely nothing. From Sukuna switching to his old body, he completely healed. Now he should be completely unstoppable. but for some strange reason, he hasn't tried to one-shot Kashimo yet. It seems Sukuna kinda forgot how powerful he is. Also Gojo, I think Shoko may struggle to tell Megami about Toji now.